Yo, ladies and gentlemen, I had no plans to come back on, except earlier tonight we were doing a live look around America, checking out different fireworks locations and where people were ringing in this new year, 2025. Well, a few hours after we were watching Bourbon Street in New Orleans, NOLA, this happened. They're declaring it a terrorist attack and they're well, that's what it said on the stream. Don't quote ping. But they're saying here at least 10 people are dead and 30 have been left injured after a SUV plowed into a crowd celebrating New Year on Bourbon Street in New Orleans French Quarter. They're saying the driver rammed into a large group at high speed, then got out and started firing a weapon. Witnesses claim the suspect was wearing full body armor and armed with an assault rifle. They say videos circulating on social media appear to be recorded at the scene, show multiple casualties on the ground as shots ring out in the background. People were also seen running from the area. This is just mayhem, really is. I'm expecting everyone is probably asleep, so I'm hoping you'll all see this when you get back up. I'm going to play this little bit of a recap here from an update, breaking news. So let's check it out.
Address the media, give their updates as best they can, but no questions will be taken. Let's go back to New Orleans.
Our mayor and Mayor Latoya Cantrell will start with her remarks.
Thank you.
Okay, just give us just a little space, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Good morning. First of all, we do know that the city of New Orleans was impacted by a terrorist attack. It's all still under investigation. You'll hear more after me. However, I have been in direct contact with the White House, with Governor Landry, and of course, a unified command who is present here. What I'm asking at this time are prayers for those who have lost their lives in the city of New Orleans due to this tragedy. In addition to that, I'm asking the public to stay clear of 8 blocks around Bourbon Street. Stay clear from Bourbon Street, 8 blocks around. Very active, and again, a unified command is in place right now.
You sort of hear the update here. There's a little bit more to come. They mentioned some videos on social media. I've seen some of these videos and they are horrific, including one that I have right in front of me. What looks like the aftermath of maybe someone on a cycle where they're trying to help him, but there's something chaotic happens. Another one where they take a panning look down the street and you see someone lying quite badly injured at the scene. Really, really horrific stuff. Not I. You know, it's funny. We got off that really long live stream we did this evening. We started off on Web Sleuth. We simulcast onto this channel, and then I came back to do Central to Pacific time. And I thought to myself, wow, even in Australia and America, it's been very quiet. It's been, it's been a pretty good New Year's. Everyone's been well behaved. There's been, a couple of stabbings and things like that. That always happens. But nothing major. It's been, pretty relaxed. I was like, oh, maybe the rain in the UK sort of quietened things down, and well, America seemed to be doing okay. But then this happened. I mean, what the hell? It's like, can we not start 2025 without this type of crap? Come on. All right, let's watch the rest of this thing here.
I'm going to ask Chief Kirkpatrick to give you an update. You're then going to hear from our agent in charge relative to the FBI. So at this time, Chief Kirkpatrick.
Thank you. All right. Good morning, everyone. So I'm going to give you as much of the information I possibly can. We are going to give you an update a couple of times today. So we will give you just the basics this morning. All right. We had this event started at about 3:15. It did involve a man driving a pickup truck down Bourbon Street at a very fast pace, and it was very intentional behavior. This man was trying to run over as many people as he possibly could. It was not a DUI situation. This is a more complex and more serious based on the information we have right now. With respect to numbers, we have right now, and as you already know, this could change throughout the day. We do know that there are 26 injured people who are at UMC Hospital. We know we have 4 at Turo, 4 at Oshner Baptist, 1 at Tulane. But even as I was walking out the door, I believe I have an unconfirmed additional people who have been taken to other area hospitals, possibly on the east side. But we will give you as many correct numbers as we can as the day progresses. It is a very tragic situation for me to tell you that we know we have 10 people that this man killed.
And I believe in some of that footage that's going around, at least one of those people is one of the deceased that is mentioned in this particular press report here. That person that's laying injured looks really, really hurt. They are not moving, and the amount of blood that is around looks catastrophic. Something that you would maybe survive. I hope so, but it doesn't look great. And to hear that they'd already had these 10 people who had passed away, it matches some of these videos coming out from the scene of the crime itself. Very, very devastating. I was like, wow, finally we had a New Year's where we all just chilled out a little bit. Well, no, 2025 starts with what they're saying here. New Orleans mayor dealing with a terrorist attack in New Orleans. Not something I ever thought. I don't think I'd ever say those words, but here we are today in 2025. Jeanette, hey Jeanette, good to see you, my friend. Horrific. There are no words for this kind of evil. Thanks for covering this and for caring so much. You are welcome. Yeah, I had no intention of coming back on. I was getting ready to go to bed, and I didn't want to leave this till tomorrow. So let's just listen to the last bit of this, and I'll show you some stuff of what I found.
On Bourbon Street. That is why we do not want anyone on Bourbon Street today. Wherever you see yellow tape, please do not violate this tape. This is in order to protect and stabilize the scene. We have information to a certain degree of the demographics of those who are in the hospital right now. We do not know at this point how many could be tourists versus locals, but from the information I have right now, it seems the majority are locals versus tourists. What I also can tell you is that this man, this perpetrator, he fired on our officers.
I can actually show you some of that gunfire activity, and I'm going to show you this here. If we go here, it says here, wow, this is just a statement about 30 wounded, 10 killed. But if you listen carefully, you can hear the gunshots in this video while people are trying to attend to the injured parties, or maybe even people who are deceased. So have a quick listen to this. Actually, I'll make it bigger, and then we go. So there you go. You could hear it's a very short clip. It's a little hard to make out fully what's going on, but it looks like they're trying to attend to this person that was on a bicycle or motorbike. I can't quite make it out. And then they hear gunfire and everyone scatters. So not what I would say is a relaxing night in Bourbon Street at all. It sounds like people were trying to do their best to lend a hand, and they almost found themselves victims of this particular attack. So I've got one more I'll show you if I can just reload this. There was one actually, yeah, Sorry, we have some guidelines we have to kind of, you know, work around on YouTube. I just got to double check. Yeah, I can't show the other one. The other one I can't show because I believe it shows a dead body, and I don't think we're allowed to show that. And it shows quite a lot of blood, which violates the terms and conditions of streaming, unfortunately. But those videos are around if for some reason you need to see them. They are pretty easy to find. Um, awful, awful. People just trying to. We were watching it about what time is it? 11:51 now. So about 4.5 hours ago, something like that. We were watching the Earth Cam on this channel, and we were looking at New Orleans and a few other places, Las Vegas, and we were commenting. We're like, "Wow, look at all the people! There's so many people having fun. That you know, it's really busy. Everyone's having a good night." And then you hear something like this. And you can see the cops here. This is actually from EarthCam right here. And you can see it's now, this was the view that we had earlier, but now it's full of police and being blocked off. Also, this one, this is the video I showed you, but not as zoomed in. And then there was another one. They're saying the governor of they're saying a horrific act of violence took place on Bourbon Street earlier this morning. Please join Sharon and I in praying for all the victims and first responders on scene. I urge all near the scene to avoid the area. That seems to be the general message. They want anyone nearby to go home, or if you saw something that needs to be reported, to find a police officer to take a statement or your number. That's sort of what they want you to do. They want you to leave the area so they can work the scene right now. And yeah, they're saying here, according to WLWT, a witness said that she saw the vehicle strike the crowd and multiple officers opened fire at the suspect. She says she started running and only escaped by the grace of God. Another person, Kevin Garcia, 22, said the car was slamming into everyone on the left side of the Bourbon sidewalk. He heard gunshots ring out and claims a body came flying at me. Whit Davis, a 22-year-old witness from Shreveport, Louisiana, said he was in a nightclub when the attack unfolded. He recalled how people started running and hiding under tables in a scene that resembled an active shooter drill. Police then held him and a group of partygoers in the bar, probably for their own protection. He told the BBC, noting that when they were finally allowed to leave the establishment, they were walking past dead and injured bodies all over the street. Not a New Year's Eve come down that people want. They're saying Bourbon Street, famous for its many bars and clubs, has reportedly been shut down while investigators work the scene. People are being advised to stay away from the area. They're saying the 8th District is currently working a mass casualty incident involving a vehicle that drove into a large crowd on Canal and Bourbon Street. They're saying there are 30 injured patients. The rest have been transported to New Orleans Medical Services, and 10 fatalities. Public safety partners are responding on scene. Updates will follow as they are received. So that's sort of the information right now. I was just going to check this source here, WLWT, and see if they had some more like localized news. Actually, that's, yeah, sure, we could do that. Let's have a look. If it'll load. All right, let's have a look.
That obviously she means domestic terrorism, as the man drove his truck down Bourbon Street with the intent to hurt people. We do have breaking news. Our NOPD sources are telling us that the suspect, they believe, is dead at this time. We will have much more on that, as that is a developing situation right now. But Mike, let's get the very latest from you.
So as you just heard out of there, they believe the suspect is now dead. So I figured that might be the case. They said in this particular one that a bunch of officers had opened fire on that suspect. You'd be surprised if they somehow walked away from that. We've seen how these officers are a pretty good shot. LMS 83, hey my friend, happy new year to you. A long time best friend lives there, just message waiting on response. Really hope he wasn't on Bourbon. I hope so too. I hope so too. Hey, Robbie T, good to see you. Robbie T says horrific is the only word for this. I agree. People using, public places and group gatherings to drive through. If you are unaware, in Australia, in Melbourne, we are not unaffected by this. Several times in the last decade, we have had people drive through crowds to kill people. It's happened a few times down here. And if there's anyone who understands what it's like to be a community and go through something like this, Melbourne is definitely one of them. I think we had it 3 times in like 2 years. One time, a guy drove through a crowd in Melbourne and then kept going and drove through a second group of people in a different street. He actually killed a bunch of people, and it was mayhem that day in Melbourne City. And then there was another person who drove through a group of people down on what street was that? I can't remember, but it was not too far from Flinders Street in Melbourne. So yeah, it brings back a lot of memories of that for us for sure. I'm just double checking here another source here for you guys. The press conference. Yeah, okay. Now I'm going to bring you one from for WWL.
6 o'clock on this New Year's Day. Good morning to you. Not a good morning, unfortunately, here in the city of New Orleans, where we're here to report a mass casualty event. The New Orleans Police Department, Louisiana State Police, multiple investigators descended on Bourbon Street, downtown New Orleans, where some 10 people were killed overnight, dozens others injured after a vehicle crashed into that crowd on Bourbon Street near Iberville.
Even just talking about it, it seems like a surreal morning here in the city of New Orleans. Just devastating on so many levels. We do have multiple reporters out on scene. We are currently awaiting a news conference to hear from the superintendent, Anchor Patrick, to try to get some more information about this. Right now, there are so many questions and not enough answers. This happened right around 3 a.m. this morning, a few hours after the city celebrated the new year, bringing in with fireworks on the riverfront, which is not far from where this scene unfolded, right there at Iberville and Bourbon Street. Of course, a lot of tourists in town for New Year's Eve. The Sugar Bowl is also happening, and it's just a highly populated area.
Yeah, that's right. The college football playoffs are happening right now. What they used to call the New Year's Eve Six. I don't know if they call that anymore, but yeah, the Sugar Bowl, which is one of the lead-ins to the college football final. That'll have a lot of people in town, not only being New Year's Eve, but also the rundown to the championship for the college NCAA football. They're saying here, let's go here. Let's go to CNN in the US. New Orleans Police Superintendent calls drivers' actions very intentional. Yeah, I would have to say that if you drove through a crowd of people for that amount of distance, it's going to be an intentional act. You're not like, oh, my sat nav told me to take a right here, and then it said drive through 500 people. I don't think anyone's sat nav does that. They're saying here in a new update from CNN, driver shot 2 officers. New Orleans police chief told the media. They say the man driving a pickup truck down Bourbon Street at a very fast pace has now killed 10 people and fired on New Orleans police officers, striking 2 who are now in stable condition. Police Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick said on Wednesday morning, last night we had over 300 officers out here, and because of the intentional mindset of this perpetrator who went around our barricades in order to conduct this attack, he was hell-bent on creating the carnage and the damage that he did. That is very interesting, that they had these type of bollards or barricades up to try and persuade, a would-be attacker to not do this or not be able to, and they just drove around them, which is very interesting because the one that happened in Germany a couple of weeks ago near Christmas, they had a similar thing. They had like a barricade up because there had been car attacks in marketplaces leading up to Christmas over the years throughout Europe. That guy actually drove in the authority entry. So for, uh, like paramedics, fire, police, security, that type of thing. He went around the barricade and went through the sort of emergency services entry. And it's interesting in this particular one in New Orleans, Bourbon Street, he took a similar, way of doing it by not trying to take down the barricades or drive through them, but just getting around them. So it's an interesting conversation about what do you do there, and do they do anything at all if you're able to just drive around them? Are they just to look at, or do they actually prevent something? So that'll be an interesting conversation to have at some point. Yeah, LMS, if you hear from your friend that lives nearby, let us know. Let us know that he is okay. Please, I'd like to know that. Any other updates? Let's see. It says most of the injured are locals to the area. They are not tourists or people who have come in from out of town. They say it seems most of the 30 people injured by the car that rammed into a crowd in New Orleans early Wednesday were local residents and not visitors to the city. They say the attack in the French Quarter happened hours before the city is set to host the Sugar Bowl, which draws hordes of fans from across the country. Let's see what else. Superintendent calls the driver's actions deliberate. Mayor calls incident a terrorist attack, but the FBI says otherwise. They say the New Orleans mayor, Latoya Cantrell, has released initial information on the attack, and they said, "We do know that the city of New Orleans was impacted by a terrorist attack." Shortly later, an FBI agent told reporters, "This is not a terrorist event." It was not immediately clear why the mayor and the FBI had differing information. That's an interesting thing to, sort of be at a crossroads on. One person says yes, one person says no. Interesting. They say Louisiana governor calls deadly vehicle incident a horrific act of violence. That is, I would agree. And what else do they say here? Yeah, these are the hospitals that the injured were taken to. So if you are looking for someone, if you knew someone who was there and you're not quite sure where they may have ended up, this would be a good place to call around. But do they have a number? Normally, when these events take place, they set up a hotline so you can call and say, "Hey, I'm looking for Jim Smith. He was at Bourbon Street, and we lost him during the, everything that happened. We just sort of ran off, and we didn't find him after that." But I don't see one listed here right now. They're saying a deadly vehicle incident came during New Year celebration hours before that college football. Witnesses describe horror and panic after vehicle slams into crowd. Here, this is an interesting quote from that Kevin Garcia again. "All I seen was a truck slamming into everyone on the left side." Yeah, he says a body came flying towards him. "Everyone started yelling and screaming and running to the back, and then we basically went into lockdown for a little bit, and then it calmed down, but they wouldn't let us leave." And then he goes on to say when they did let him leave, they were walking past injured parties and dead bodies. That is a rough night for anyone. Not only the people who were injured and died, but the people who had to witness it. So brutal. Yeah, there we go. All right, let me just check one other place for you all. And I just want to have a look. CNN. I think we did that one. What? Jeez, that's loud. Let's go here. I'm going to head to CNN just for a minute. I just want to show you the update that they had when this all broke a little while ago.
We begin with this really tragic breaking news out of New Orleans this morning. 10 people are dead and at least 30 others are injured after a vehicle drove into a crowd in the French Quarter. Emergency officials say it happened overnight near Canal and Bourbon Street. You can see the scene right there. A lot of police activity overnight. We've been seeing ambulances. You see on your screen right there. Truly a frightening scene, as you can imagine. A number of New Year's revelers out and about on this New Year's Day, early morning, and then waking up to this news. The latest that we have from the New Orleans Ready, their emergency alert system, is that their 8th district, they're working on a mass casualty event. That is how they have described it so far. And again, we got that news just a matter of moments ago that at least 10 people have been killed and dozens more were injured. We're also learning some more information from eyewitnesses who have described some of the scenes, frankly, and some of the horror and panic after a vehicle slammed into the crowd. That's the word from some of the eyewitnesses. Kevin Garcia, 22 years old, spoke to CNN shortly after this incident. He said, "All I seen was a truck slamming into everyone on the left side of Bourbon sidewalk. A body came flying at me," he said, adding that he also heard gunshots being fired. That's again from Kevin Garcia speaking with CNN just a little while ago.
And you can see in that CNN footage as they pan around that that street was full a few hours ago, just heaving with revelers out there. And now you can see just how locked down it is after this attack. Yeah, attack is the word I'm going to use. I'm just checking a different source here. And yeah, here's some interesting photos from the scene. I don't know how much I can show you of this. This comes from the DM Daily Mail. And you can see a pixelated thing here. I think we can all guess what this is. You can make it out with the coloration here. There's that ute, that what you guys would call a utility or a truck. There it is. That looks like bullet wounds. Yeah, in the window here. There you go. You can see gunshot holes here in the window back of the ute here. Okay. Yeah, you can see that white ute. That's a very awful photo, unfortunately. This is the person I saw before. There's a video going around on Twitter, and this poor person here, you can see them on a different angle looking up the road. They do not look alive, unfortunately. In that particular video that I saw, I think it might be this video actually. I can't play it. It'll get me banned from YouTube. There's another one, unfortunately. You can see how grisly this particular scene is by some of the stuff on the floor. And that's probably someone's daughter. That's probably someone's girlfriend or sister. She's not coming home, and that's it's really sad. It's really sad that probably just headed out to have a good time, bring in the new year, and she will not be making it home. I think that's really awful. And what are they saying here? Police respond to the scene after truck crashes in New Orleans crowd. Let's have a look. Oh, they're responding. Super respond. Yes, they seem very, very engaged. That is a hell of a response. Yes, well done. Let's see. That's about it. Yeah, details are not thin, but they're actually doing another press update in a couple of hours. They're saying that particular press update will have a lot more information. The one they did a little while ago, I think it was about half an hour ago, that particular one was supposed to be just a prepping one. So they're just trying to prime the media with the basic information of what occurred, what they can give you, and then when they are able to verify more information over the next couple of hours, that information will be given in the second press conference that they said they're going to be doing. So murder is another one. Yes, that is a good description. Horrific. Yeah. What the hell? Can't you just have some fun? Can't we just be like, decent people to everyone? Why do we have to always turn every sort of global event into, oh my God, look, billions of people died? Like, it's ridiculous. Actually, here you can see here in this live shot here, the Orleans Parish coroner is at the scene right now, and you see some first responder vehicles here from the PD, the NOPD. But yeah, Orleans Parish Coroner on scene, down Canal. You can see the sign up here, Canal Street and Bourbon, currently locked down. But that coroner van shows up, and you know it's not a good day. You know it's not a good day. Video Reel says mental illness. I don't know. I mean, I guess so. I mean, we don't know. It could have just been someone who really hated Bourbon Street. Maybe they really hated NCAA football and wanted to, I don't know, who knows? Who knows what their ideological motivation was? Who knows? Let's see. Any other updates out of this one? I'm just double checking one of my pages here for you. It's really sad that we had to come back on and do this. We shouldn't have to. It should not be like this. Okay. Let's have a look. Let's go to the live blog over here. Any status of suspect is unknown. The other news channel that we were watching before, WTWO or whatever it's called, they were saying that their FBI informant that they have has confirmed that that driver is dead, that he has been shot and killed by officers. So I don't know why they're all like, oh, we don't know what happened. They're saying status of suspect is unknown. Well, apparently he's dead. Well, at least according to one news outlet, he is no longer with the living. They're saying 2 officers shot in confrontation with a suspect. I'm glad they're okay. They're saying that they suffered wounds, but they're not in a serious condition. They are now in a stable condition in hospital. So it was very intentional. Yep, we know that. I think we're going to learn more about this, why she said that. And then the FBI is like, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think she misspoke. Police had ramped up security for the night. This might be interesting. There was a heightened security in the city, and especially the famous French Quarter, when the attack happened Wednesday morning. New Orleans Police Department said on Monday it would be staffed at 100% and also have an additional 300 officers assisting them in addition to the 100% staffing level that they'd already put in place. That is a lot of officers. They said in a statement, police said they would They would deploy. Who's writing these things? They would deploy. All right, deploy. A strong presence of marked and unmarked police vehicles, as well as officers on foot, bike, and horseback. People got to stop using AI to write their articles. It's not journalism, and it makes you look stupid. It really does. Horror footage shows aftermath of attack. No, we're not going to show you dead bodies. Sorry about that. They said video shared on social media of the aftermath of the attack shows injured bodies. Sorry, what other type of bodies are there that, you know? We have many uninjured bodies. Here, take a look. They're saying, yeah, many people who were either dying or injured lying on the ground on Bourbon Street. They said people are seen standing over the bodies, which are in pools of their own blood, seemingly in shock as officials with long guns run down the street. Yeah, that footage is pretty hard to watch. Crowds ordered to leave Bourbon Street. Authorities in New Orleans have told people to stay away from Bourbon Street as they investigate the incident. And here, Noel Reddy on Twitter says, there has been a mass casualty incident on Canal and Bourbon. Get yourself away from the area. Visit ready.nola.gov for details. A body, I find this description, that guy must be in shock. He's like, a body came flying at me. That guy sounds like he's having problems processing what he saw and what he experienced. Really, he sounds like he's in shock. They said also here what authorities, New Orleans said, okay. They said the 8th district is the one currently working the mass casualty scene, and they said it just involves that vehicle that we've already spoken about 9 million times. All right, let's see. Yeah, mass casualty incident. Let's see if we got another update up here. New posts. Okay. Yeah, so this is in daylight now. You can see some new updated photos. I don't think we have the Earth cam. I think they took the Earth cam down. Let me have a look. Let me see if it's still up and working. Oh, it's up and working, and you can see the cops. Oh my God, did you see that? A cop just he teleported. Did you all see? Did you all witness that? That cop right here just teleported into the street. Wow, that was truly amazing. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it in my life. That was cool as hell. BC said, "You sound so tired." It's been a long day, a really long day. Video else says people get so sick from their struggles they snap. It could be. It is a heartbreaking story. Yeah, BC, I'm tired. We did. I don't know. We got on at 3, got off at something like 7 or 8, and then I came back a few hours later to do this. So, and then we did a bunch yesterday too. Here, let me take you over to one of these WDSU.
Because watching some of those videos, I'm sure this was probably one of the worst nights for some people. And so we're going to continue to keep on asking questions and try to get more information. 2 officers are in the hospital right now. They do not have any life-threatening injuries right now. So that's what we know so far. But reporting here from Bourbon and Canal Street, I'm Cassie Sherm. Back to you.
All right, Cassie, this is a very fluid situation. The mayor said she had been in contact with the White House. This is just coming in from DC right now. I'm just going to read it aloud. It's from the White House pool staff right now. They say that President Biden has been briefed on the horrific news that a driver killed and injured dozens of individuals in New Orleans overnight. And the White House has been in touch with New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell to offer support. The FBI is already on the ground supporting local law enforcement in the investigation, and the president will continue to be briefed throughout the day. Obviously, that just defines the serious nature that we're dealing with here. President Biden, who is scheduled to depart from Wilmington, Delaware, where he has a house, and head to Camp David, has been briefed and is well aware of what New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell describes as a terrorist-like or a domestic terrorism-like situation in the city of New Orleans.
All right, let me leave it there so we don't get in trouble. That's from courtesy of a channel I don't have on me. Courtesy of WDSU NBC 6. So that is them covering that just then. Yeah, I'm tired. I don't know how much more we're going to do because there's really not a ton of information coming through. And the next press update is scheduled for, I think, 3 or 4 hours, something like that. So it's a while away. It's not going to be soon. I'm going to switch over to a different panel. Give me one sec. All right, that's so great that worked. It really didn't. Let me see if I can fix it. It seems like not only am I starting to slow down, so is the computer. Let's see, SUV, yep. Yeah, interesting to hear that. Definitely Biden's going to probably make a statement at some point. Your president, at least for another, 26 days or something like that. Not very long, but he is currently your president. So let's see. They say videos circulating on social media that appear to have been recorded at the scene show multiple casualties on the ground as shots ring out in the background. That's the video I showed you before. Dozens of police have responded to what authorities have declared a mass casualty incident. Okay, we already know that. I'm not going to double read it. Let me check one. All right, I'm going to take you back and I'm going to show you something. This is from Tim Conway Jr. Thanks for that. I'm going to show you this.
didn't address the manhunt or the perpetrator, as she called him. But we are understanding from law enforcement that they believe he is dead. He apparently, as Aaron said, he apparently engaged the police after he crashed his vehicle in the Bourbon Street area. Apparently, according to the police, he did get he did fire and injure 2 officers, but they believe that he is dead, and that probably, given how these things work, is leading to why the police are so confident in saying that this was an intentional act. They're calling it a terrorist act. Obviously, they're not actually saying it was terrorism, but it's also a different kind of a case. Now we don't have an ongoing manhunt, but they are looking at possible, IEDs, a possible explosive device. They're looking at exactly what happened. They're looking at the video. They want to examine all of the actions before the incident and then what happened when the truck was plowing through the Bourbon Street area.
All right, Josh, thank you for that reporting. Right now, let's go to Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas. So, Pierre, we understand that there's no longer a manhunt in this particular case. There seems to be a little bit of a snag in terms of what the FBI or federal officials are going to categorize this particular incident as in terms of terrorism. But what are you learning on your front, and what goes into that in terms of, categorizing this particular incident as terrorism? Where does this investigation stand? What are some of the key factors that they're going to be looking at?
Well, the FBI was brought in early this morning.
I think it's very interesting that the FBI was brought in. I mean, it's not surprising. If they find out it's a domestic event, I wouldn't, like the guys from America or whatever, I wouldn't be surprised if they start bringing in Homeland Security too. Like, where is the threat? Is there more coming? Is there anything from, outside of America maybe? Who knows? But the FBI don't mess around. They'll kick in your door. They'll kick in your door if they have to. Let's see. That was an interesting update there. That's from a Twitter user. What was their name again? At Conway Show. At Conway Show. Yeah, I got your email. I signed you up for all the nation's best naked ladies. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't do that. BC said, I think they said not until 11. Hold on. Now you got me confused about my times. I thought it was like 4 hours, but maybe I'm wrong. Hold on. Yeah. So 3-4 hours, something like that. So that is correct. Correcto. We already done. Yes, I would say everyone's on high alert. Everyone's been called in. If you've got holidays, you're coming into work. If you work at one of these alphabet agencies, you're coming straight back into work. No New Year's Day for you. You have to come and work the New Orleans event. All right, hold on. Let me take you back to WDSU and see what they have to say right now.
And what you're looking at right now, again, a serious situation. Like the FBI said, they are investigating a suspicious package because they believe that the suspect did have some explosive devices that he brought to the French Quarter in the pickup truck that Superintendent Kirkpatrick said he used to plow down Bourbon Street earlier today. So we'll continue to follow the situation here as they have brought in specialists to investigate what is a suspicious package, and more police presence continues to come to this scene.
Well, that's not what I like to hear. I don't like to hear things about there might be an IED or a freaking, some sort of time device or improvised explosive or something. That is, that's not great. If we see the guy in the giant suit that kind of like you go, wow, that's a weird looking spaceman. He's all green and he looks a little odd. That would be very concerning. I don't see any images of that though, but I can show you. I don't know. Actually, I don't know about this, but I would be interested to hear from someone whether they think these particular gunshots here, these gunshots through the window, were fired from inside the cab of the vehicle or through from the outside, like a cop did it. I am very interested whether this is going into the cabin or out of the cabin. it sort of looks to me like it's going like it was fired from outside of the vehicle, but I'm not a gunshot expert by any means. I only play one on television. State police, you got state police, you got it looks like a captain or something, a very good cop, and there that vehicle. What is it? Is a Texas license plate, LZ1575. Hire car? Hire car? LZ1575. LZ. Let's see if I can find this pickup on Texas. Texas tag. That's not it. Come on. Okay, someone did put up this. Did they find anything? Oh, agenda's on. Hey, Steve Lookner. I love Steve Lookner. What a legend. Love that guy. What does it say here? I wanted to see if they had anything on that tag. Wow, there's an overview shot. I wonder if I can pull that up in a better window. There we go. Wow, what an aftermath of that. Oh man, is that a wheelchair? It is, right? That's someone's wheelchair. That's horrible. Wow, someone in some sort of like motorized wheelchair or something. That's sort of what it looks like to me. I hope they're not one of the people who died. That's awful. And then this giant boom lift. But yeah, there you go. There's a really high def photo. That's a good one. That front of that car just looks like there's nothing left of it. It looks like the engine is probably pushed past the firewall in the cab there. That looks just obliterated. Kill them. Okay. It's a good answer, my friend. It's a good answer. Let's just have a look here. All right. Here, let me take you to Bourbon Street so you guys can see our teleporting police officer again. He's just wandering around. I don't know where his buddies went. He had a friend before, but he's disappeared. I just wanted to check what they were saying here about the tag. Hold on. Nope. Okay. It's a Ford F-150 Lightning. Has a Texas tag, LZ1575. A flagpole hitch holder is visible with what appears to be a flag, although it seems covered. Yeah, that is an interesting point. What is that? Additionally, there are 4 bullet holes in the rear cabin of the window. I'd like to know if they're internal or external. Something tells me with the way the glass is depressed, it's going into the cabin. So these were fired by a cop firing on the suspect. At least that's what I think. You know, I'm not always right, but that is interesting. That's I don't know why you would do this. This is not a thing people do here. People don't drive around with Australian flags on their truck. I mean, they might, but I've never seen one with a flagpole in the towing mount down here. I've never seen that before here. But that is strange. Whatever this is, he's like, I want to fly my plain gray flag. It's a flag of frustration and purpose. I don't know. Let's see. New Orleans told ABC News the strike appeared to be intentional. The driver has not been taken into custody. Yeah, because he's in a morgue. He's in a body bag. Warning, I got after there has been a mass category. Yeah. Let's see. Null already. Okay. Just truck. They're saying here when the truck finally stopped and crashed and was stationary, he decided to hop out and start firing his weapon with police returning fire on him. That's how those 2 officers got struck, unfortunately. Footage, yeah, we can't play that, unfortunately. Yeah, we can't play that. But yeah, that image is very interesting. This one. Don't mess around. I'll mess around. I'll mess all the rounds every day. All right, let's see what else I've got. Let's head back to this people. Don't do that. All right, here we go.
Street with the intent to kill or injure people. We do know again, 10 people have died. The city and Bourbon Street absolutely packed at 3 a.m. as so many people were out and about celebrating the new year and celebrating the Sugar Bowl. There were thousands of fans in the city for the CFP playoff between Notre Dame and Georgia. We have multiple live crews. Brandy B. Harris, Fletcher Mackel, Brittany Werner, Aubrey Killian, security expert Mike Kine is coming back live. But let's start things off with Cassie Sherm. Cassie, the FBI is taking the lead here. We talked with our friend Tom Winter from NBC. He clearly pointed out when that happens, that means that they believe this was an act of some type of domestic terrorism, and therefore they're going to be the point to piece everything together and try to find out who this person was. If you can walk us through, the suspect exchanged gunfire with NOPD, 2 officers injured, the suspect believed to be killed.
Yeah, just a few hours ago, we were talking about how NOPD sources were telling me they believe this was intentional on the way it was set up, how it went through, but also with the shootout at the end. Now, that suspect ended up running into a construction vehicle. As you guys know, we have a lot of construction that's going on in the French Quarter as we're getting ready for Super Bowl. They said that it was going to be all done by hopefully next month. So that's one of the things, is it's really hard to maneuver, especially just on an average day. But with something like this, and you have so many people, when that happened, that car hit the construction vehicle. That's when police then surrounded that vehicle. And we actually have video of that where the police were trying to get that man out of the vehicle. But unfortunately, that's when the shootout happened and multiple people were running in that video. You can see, 2 officers were shot. Thankfully, none of them were seriously injured, but multiple people here. And I'm telling you right now, guys, the scene here is not going to be changing anytime soon. They said that they're going to have police out here barricading the area because it's still an active investigation. In fact, I'm being told by my sources there are still bodies on Bourbon Street as we speak. I'm going to let you guys take a look. We're going to try to avoid showing you guys anything that would be bad to see when it comes to something like that. But you can see officers down the way.
They're like, we'd like to show you something, but avoid the bad things, right? They just showed you a video of like dead bodies and a gunfight. They're like, well, but we don't want to show it to you again. Just, we're a very responsible news station. We don't do things like that, except for when we did it just before, but not right now. We're very responsible. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you except for the explosive device thing is really interesting. As the investigation continues into the deadly scene of the truck mowing through pedestrians in the heart of the French Quarter, they say here there were improvised explosive devices that were found. They're working on confirming if it's a viable device or not. So bomb squad probably coming in or already there. They're saying Duncan declined to answer a reporter's question, asking for more detail about how many suspected devices they are examining. I found this really not strange, but just it has a weird connection to another story that I was going to do tonight, but we never ended up doing it. There was a man arrested not too long ago, and according to the ATF and the FBI, they found the largest ever treasure trove or cache of IEDs ever known in the USA. Ever. They said this guy had so many pipe bombs and other kind of things that he wrote on it, deadly, like don't touch it. Hold on, I could probably find it for you. Yeah, here it is. I'll show you. It was actually a few hours ago, so it's odd that this happened after this news broke. Not saying they're connected, just strange. They're saying a Virginia man accused of amassing the largest homemade explosive cache ever found by the FBI. Agents discovered more than 150 pipe bombs and other devices in a raid on the home of Brad Spafford. Not Stafford. He's not related to the quarterback. It's a different guy. Brad Spafford, 36, according to the documents. They say a federal judge has granted a bond to a Virginia man accused of holding extremist views and amassing what prosecutors say is the largest ever cache of homemade explosives found by the FBI. The judge stayed the order pending government approval. Agents found the weapons, including more than 150 pipe bombs and explosive devices, during a 17th of December raid on a 20-acre property in the Isle of Wight County. According to court documents, authorities initially arrested the 36-year-old owner, Brad Spafford, on a single charge of possessing an unregistered SBR, which is a short-barrel rifle. But as bomb squad swept the property, they found explosive devices marked lethal in a detached garage, according to those same court documents. Inside the house, investigators discovered more pipe bombs packed into a backpack bearing a hand grenade patch and a logo for hashtag No Lives Matter, a slogan linked to a far-right extremist movement that promotes violent acts on encrypted online channels, according to a recent New Jersey Homeland Security assessment. Many of the details in the case emerged during a 30th of December bond hearing for Spafford, whose bail was initially set at $25,000 before an emergency stay pushed by prosecutors was secured. So they're saying investigators found multiple components for manufacturing, things that go kaboom, including HMDT, a highly volatile compound stored in garage freezers. They also discovered a notebook containing recipes for military-grade explosives. What the hell? They're saying court testimony also revealed that the investigation began after Spafford lost 3 fingers in a July 2021 explosion. A neighbor reported him to authorities, according to the Smithfield Times, describing conversations about preparing for something that Spafford said would not be able that he would not be able to do alone. Along with the firearms charges, federal prosecutors have indicated that additional charges for Spafford may be forthcoming, each potentially carrying similar sentences. He faces up to 10 years in prison for the firearms charge alone. And that's the firearms charge for that short barrel rifle, which was unregistered with the ATF and the local community. So very interesting. Jeanette says, thanks for a brilliant and respectful live ping. I hope to... Okay. Yeah, I'm probably going to wind up. I don't think we're going to get an update for another couple of hours. And I'll be in... I'll be asleep by then. It'll be very early in the morning. It's about 20 minutes to 1 a.m. Australian time here. And I've been on and off the air since like 1 o'clock or something. So I have to go do stuff too. But we'll definitely catch up more on this in the morning. Video says, take care, JM. Yeah, take care, Jeanette. Happy New Year's. Yes, Happy New Year. Well, can we say Happy New Year's anymore when 10 people died and 30 people are injured? I'm not sure we should say, I hope you had a Happy New Year's. These people that we're talking about, probably not so much. I think they're probably having a pretty shocking New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. Don't think they're having a great time. I just into the New Orleans. All right, one last update, and I'm going to get out of here and let you guys go. But I will be back in the morning. We'll do a full coverage recap then. Unfortunately, I'm just not as cool as Steve Lookner. You know, he yells at people when they don't do the right thing, and I just can't do that. I know I can't do that. Although I love when he yells at people. It's so much fun. He just gets so mad at the trolls. It's great. New Orleans terrorist dead. There you go. See, I told you. he was dead. After killing 10 and injuring 31, now that number's gone up by 1. Don't know where they found the extra 1, but sure. In the Bourbon Street New Year's Eve bloodbath. They're saying a terrorist. A terrorist? Is he a terrorist? Depends who you ask, I guess. If you ask the mayor, yes. If you ask the FBI, maybe. They're saying the driver rammed into a large group at high speed, then got out, started firing his weapon. Witnesses said investigators later added that they found those IEDs. Police returned fire. 2 officers were shot by the suspect and are in stable condition. Sources later told WDSU that the suspect was deceased. No information about the suspect has been released at this time, and the gunman's manner of death is not clear. I'm gonna guess it's gunshot wound. Just a very, I'm just like throwing stuff out there. I don't even know, but seems like a possibility. Witnesses claim the suspect was wearing full body armor. You see someone like that, everything's gonna get really bad. They said armed with an assault rifle. Must be all those firearm experts that were on Bourbon Street. They knew what kind of rifle it was. Videos circulating on social media showed a chaotic scene at the tourist hotspot as people ran from the casualty-strewn area while bullets rang out in the background. They say dozens of police officers have responded to what authorities have declared the mass casualty event, and a portion of the road has been cordoned off. Paramedics and ambulances and vehicles from the coroner's office were also seen at the scene. I feel like they're stealing all the things I said like half an hour ago. Ambulances have transported the wounded to the 5 city area hospitals. The FBI has now taken the lead in the investigation into this shocking act on what should have been a fun night for everyone. Everyone should have been able to go out there, enjoy themselves, be respectful, have a few drinks, party hard, and head home and nurse a hangover. The fact that this guy, whoever he is, decided to do his own thing and hurt a lot of people, it really is horrific. Kathy Miller says, thank you, Ping, for your coverage. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Kathy Miller. It's very kind of you to say that. Robbie T says, tired, going to sleep now. We'll replay later. Yeah, I'm going to get out of here. There's no updates coming for a few more hours. No big updates anyway. And by then it'll be 4 a.m. in the morning, Australian time. But I'll tell you what, I will come when I wake up in the morning and I can have a coffee. I will come back and hang out with you all, and we'll do a massive recap about it. Okay, we'll do a big recap. I'll show you the latest updates, and we'll do this all over again. Yeah, that's right. I love Steve Lookner. He's a legend. Steve, email me. We'll hang out. We'll yell at trolls together. That's what we'll do. I love you all. Please be safe out there. I'd hate for anyone else to get hurt on this New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. New Year's Day, 1st of January. We already have this shocking event in front of us where it really didn't need to happen, right? Like, this is just, it's grotesque. It really is to someone, believe that their and whatever they wanted to do was worth taking out 10 people from this world on the first day of 2025, and life-changing injuries, either the ones that are in hospital or mentally for the people who had to witness and run away from all of this. There's many more people than 30 injured, and it'll leave a scar on all of them. And I'm thinking of all those people, including the first responders who bravely went in here, fired against that guy, and tried to save as many people as they could. They did a really good job tonight. They did a great job. LMS says, just seen something from him. He's okay as far as I know. Good work. Hey, LMS's buddy, I'm glad you're okay. That's a good news. Hey, we don't need any more people getting hurt. Hey, my name is Ping. This is Nights with Ping, and I will catch you for a big update in the morning for me, Australian time, okay? And then yeah, we'll get back on it. We'll get back on it in the morning. You guys will probably see all the updates while I'm asleep, so you'll probably know more before I get up. But hey, try and be good out there. Have a great New Year's Day if you can. To the people of New Orleans, yeah, I'm sorry this has happened to you. What a great city. I've been there. Lovely people, good people, and a great place. I love Louisiana. It's great. Shame that they have to go through this. It really is. Sending all the love to all of you. Yes, like Video Reel says, and let's learn more about this jackass later on. Like we'll learn about him, and we will trash him for days because like he doesn't deserve the notoriety. He just deserves to be. We're gonna call him like jackass number one, and that's it. He doesn't deserve to have a name. You do this kind of stuff, you don't deserve it. We should mention the victims and talk about them. So we'll do that in the morning, okay? Love you all. Be safe out there. Good night.